My best friend Grace got this weird-looking dog. It doesn't just look human. It looks like a man. Ever since she got it, she's prettier, happier, but honestly, it gives me chills. I begged her to get rid of it. It just looks wrong. But Grace just hesitated and looked at me.
But I'm leaving for a business trip tonight. Mia, can you watch the dog for 2 days? I'll pick it up as soon as I'm back.
My boyfriend jumped in to back her up.
It's just feeding the dog. No big deal. Come on, say yes.
So I reluctantly agreed. But that first night the dog came, it nearly tore me apart. But Grace went live, crying, saying I begged to take her dog home, so it's my fault I got bitten. I got so mad at the hospital that my heart gave out. Then I woke up. Back on the day Grace asked me to watch her dog. Everything went dark, and I heard a familiar voice.
I just got a dog recently. Super handsome. You'll love him.
Standing in front of me was my best friend, Grace. Seeing this familiar scene, I knew I was really reborn. That creepy dog was right behind her, staring at me, and cold sweat drenched me. Memories of being fatally bitten last time rushed back. Seeing me stay silent, my boyfriend quickly tried to smooth things over.
This dog looks pretty cool. You've done a great job racing him.
Looking at my boyfriend's easy smile, I couldn't help but wonder, what's his real role in all this? Last time, if he hadn't egged me on, I'd never have brought that dog home. But he did take it away for work, so maybe they weren't in it together? Just then, Grace came out of the kitchen with dinner, smiling warmly.
Mia, Robert, dinner's ready.
Grace said it just like she did in my last life.
Mia, I'm going on a trip tonight. I'll drop the dog at your place. Can you watch him for a few days?
I started shaking and said coldly,
I'm allergic to dog fur. Can't keep one.
Seeing I wouldn't give in, Grace looked nervous, trying to say something. I just pushed the table, stood up, and left. But I'd barely been home for a while. Robert brought the dog home and gave me a slightly sheepish look.
Mia, it's just for a few days. Once your friend's back, the dog's gone.
A chill ran down my spine. They're really planning to have this dog kill me. Too bad. It won't work this time. I frowned at the dog and said,
You know I'm scared of it, and you still brought it home?
Robert quickly calmed me down with some sweet talk. After a while, I pretended to get a text and said,
Ugh, my boss just called me back to work. You wash the dog. It's filthy. I'll be back after overtime.
A flicker of surprise flashed in Robert's eyes, like he wanted to say something. I pretended to be in a hurry, waved him off, and quickly walked away. The moment I turned to leave, I caught Robert in the corner of my eye, texting fast with a serious look, that creepy dog right by his side. I sneered. Guess my sudden move messed up their plan. He's probably texting Grace to fix it. Too bad I was blind last time. This time, I'll make sure they get quite a show. I left the complex and took a taxi to a hotel. As soon as I checked in and got to the room, I finally let out a deep breath, lay on the bed, and checked the home security feed, only to find the house completely empty. My stomach sank. I sat up and opened the location app. Robert's car is linked to my phone. I could see the car moving, and it's heading straight to the hotel I'm at. I turned on the car's live cam. My hair stood on end. That creepy dog was sitting in the back seat, grinning at me. How did Robert find me? My face turned cold. I booked this hotel at random. There's no way he could know. I only brought my phone. Wait, did he put a tracker in it? Thinking that, I paid someone online to check my phone remotely, but it was totally clean. No sign of tracking at all. But if it's not my phone, how the hell did Robert find me? Seeing Robert's location getting closer, I bit my lip, rushed downstairs, and jumped into a cab. The driver asked where to, and I hesitated before saying,
Take me for a quick drive around the city first.
The driver, thinking it was a big fare, hit the gas right away. We drove around aimlessly while I checked Robert's location on my phone. To my shock, he kept changing routes, always heading straight toward me. How the hell does he know exactly where I am? He's got my live location. I bit my lip, an idea flashing in my mind. I quickly made a call, then hung up with a small smile. In a calm tone, I told the driver to change the route. 20 minutes later, we stopped at my apartment complex. Robert's call came through too.
Hey babe, you done with work yet?
I sneered to myself, thinking he probably saw my location and came home. But still, I put on a tired voice and said,
Yeah, I'm home. When are you coming back?
There was a barely hidden excitement in Robert's voice.
I'm walking the dog downstairs. Be right back.
Right after the call, a Weibo notification popped up. Grace posted on her alt account. Years of waiting. Finally done. Someone's time is up. Looks like she thinks her plan with Robert is foolproof, and that I'm about to get mauled by that creepy dog. I let out a cold laugh and waited silently. 2 minutes later, a knock sounded, and through a crack in the door, a tall, eerie dog lunged inside. Robert was hiding in the corner, listening to the screams upstairs. Sharp, female screams. His phone lit up with my location, right at home. He felt a thrill. Looks like the plan worked. From the window came the sound of the dog gnawing, and a woman's faint whimpers, fading away. Grace rushed over, quietly leaping into Robert's arms, but her face was twisted with dark malice.
Honey, that woman's finally dead! Now we can be together openly!
Robert held Grace tightly, but he couldn't shake off a sense of unease. With a serious look, he said,
Listen, if the cops ask, you have to say Mia insisted on bringing the dog home. That's the only way to clear us. Don't forget it.
Grace smiled seductively.
Don't worry, babe. I won't mess this up. But it'll take a while before the neighbors call the cops. So, should we...
Robert glanced around. Dense trees, dark sky, no one in sight. Their bodies tangled, soft, suggestive sounds filling the air. I watched, coldly, feeling sick to my stomach. Robert and I met in high school and dated for almost 10 years. He'd taken up most of my life. He fell for me at first sight and chased me for a year before I finally said yes. I can't believe what 10 years of love has turned into. And with my best friend. 10 minutes later, their flirty shadows disappeared, and they were tidying up their clothes while still lost in their little daydream.
Grace, when Mia gets killed by the dog, it's gonna blow up online. Dress up, go live, and milk the attention. I've already taken out a huge insurance policy on her. Once I get the payout, I'll use it to buy troll farms to boost your streams.
Greed flashed in Robert's eyes, clearly already plotting their next move. Last time, they pulled it off, but this time I'm back to crush their plan. Upstairs, the dog barked. Downstairs, police sirens blared. Neighbors poured out to see the commotion, murmuring as they noticed the red blood seeping from my door.
Hey, did you guys hear those screams just now?
That scared the heck out of me. Yeah, I heard it. A woman screaming so loud, it was just horrifying.
Oh, wow. I was just peeking through the door crack, and a huge dog leapt right into her house.
Then someone, already scared, started trembling.
Could it be that the people inside have already been bitten to death by the dog?
An older woman covered her nose, her face full of dread.
Oh no, such a huge dog going crazy? It must have already killed whoever's inside.
The cops burst in, fully armed. As soon as the door opened, a sharp, bloody stench hit them. The floor was soaked in bright red blood, like someone had been drained dry. The strange dog sat in the middle of it. The crowd outside gagged and ran back, covering their mouths, horrified. The police moved in, secured the dog, and put it in a cage to carry it out. That's when Robert rushed upstairs, looking worried. He saw the blood everywhere and froze, then grabbed an officer's arm and asked,
What's going on? Why is my place covered in blood? My girlfriend was just here. Grace! Grace!
At this moment, Robert acted perfectly, his face full of grief and disbelief, like a man who just lost his girlfriend. He searched the room frantically for me. The police looked at him with some pity, but still said the truth.
Sir, your girlfriend's dead. She was attacked by a rabid dog, and then eaten.
Robert broke down, dropping to his knees and wailing, hitting the floor with his hands as he cried.
Grace, Grace! I've told you 1,000,000 times not to keep this dog, but you went and did it anyway. What am I supposed to do if something happens to you?
Robert cried so hard he could barely catch his breath a few times. The onlookers were moved, thinking he was such a devoted boyfriend, though a few sneered, saying,
That woman wouldn't listen and insisted on keeping the dog. Well, she got what she deserved.
Robert got so deep into the act he almost jumped off the building, shouting,
Mia, if you're gone, I don't want to live either. I'll come join you right now.
Just as he rushed to the window, a quick cop grabbed him and said,
The dead are gone, but you've got to keep on living.
The neighbors watching all chimed in,
Yeah, such a good guy. I've seen him going out to buy groceries and cooking for his girlfriend.
Nowadays, where would you even find a guy like that? Truly rare.
People kept talking, and Robert's crying slowly faded. He looked numb. Then Grace, my best friend, came running in, perfectly made up, dressed to impress, crying her eyes out.
Mia, why didn't you listen to us? I told you that dog was bad news, but you just wouldn't.
Seeing everyone take their side, Grace's eyes gleamed with pride. When no one was looking, she winked at Robert, their smug little victory flashing between them. Just then, I showed up at the door and said, puzzled, "Why are there so many people outside my place? What's going on?" Hearing my voice, Robert was the first to look. He'd shared a bed with me for 10 years, so he recognized it instantly. But the next second, his face went pale, like a ghost.
Mia? You're not dead? No way. The one at home was supposed to be you.
I felt like laughing, but I played dumb instead.
What do you mean? I just got back from overtime at work. Of course I'm fine. But why's the house such a mess? And why's there so much blood? What happened?
I looked curiously at the police, acting like I'd really just gotten off work. Seeing me alive, Grace's pretty, polished face could barely hide her malice. She stared blankly and opened her mouth.
What's going on? Mia, if you were at work all this time, then whose blood is all this?
I looked at all the blood, and it finally hit me. Someone's dead. But it's not me. The cops' faces went serious as they gathered around to take my statement. Seeing the blood on the floor, my face turned pale and I started crying.
That night, after finishing overtime, I called Robert's mom to come over. I just got my year-end bonus and had bought her a gift, but when I got to the community gate, I ran into her, so I gave her the gold bracelet. Before I could even get inside, my boss called me back to work, so I had to head back and left the house key with Robert's mom.
I slowly looked up at Robert, my voice trembling.
So, the person who got bitten by the dog is...
In my past life, when Robert's mom found out I'd been killed and got a huge compensation, she didn't go to the police at all. Instead, she was smug, constantly praising Robert, saying she'd raised such a smart son. She'd always disliked me, because I cared more about my career than staying home to be a dutiful wife and mother. This time I called her, saying I had a gift for her, and sure enough, she came quickly. At the community gate, I gave her the gold bracelet, and she eyed me up and down, liking my gold earrings. I obediently took them off and gave them to her. I guessed Robert had already planted a tracker in them, because the earrings were the only things he had given me, so he could only know my location through them. Just as I thought, I was right. I watched Robert's face. He looked like a dead man. His forehead twitched, voice shaking.
No way, that's impossible. Mia, don't joke around with me like that.
A look of pity crossed my face as I pretended to panic, searching around. Finally, I found Robert's mom badly injured in the bedroom. In my past life, I was bitten like this, but I wasn't as cruel as these two. Seeing this, I immediately called the police and an ambulance. The medics rushed in and carried her onto a stretcher. She'd survive, but would need months in the hospital. Robert completely broke down, kneeling in the blood, tears streaming down his face. He was in agony, barely breathing, and even coughed up blood. Seeing him like this, Grace snapped, rushed up to me, grabbed my collar, and demanded,
Mia, why did you insist on bringing the dog home to bite? And on top of that, you left Auntie alone at home, which is why she got bitten. You're basically a murderer.
Hearing that, the crowd around started reacting too, all talking at once.
Yeah, seriously. Why keep a dog like that in the first place? You could tell something was off about it.
Could it be that their mother-in-law and daughter-in-law didn't get along, and the daughter-in-law deliberately tried to kill her?
People around me started giving me weird looks. The only ones who saw the dog tonight were me, Robert, and Grace. And now those two were both blaming me. Twisting the truth, acting like I was the one who insisted on keeping it when they were the ones who set the whole thing up. Clearly they thought I had no proof to defend myself. Robert, still pretending to grieve, turned to the cops and said,
Officer, Mia tried to kill my mom on purpose. I've got proof. She didn't even go to work tonight.
He pulled out his phone, opened the tracker app, and showed my location history for the night.
I put a tracker on him. This clearly shows she's lying.
As the accident turned into a murder case, the police got serious and took all of us to the station for questioning. Robert acted completely shameless.
Officer, Mia's my girlfriend. So what if I put a tracker on her? I just love her and worry about her safety.
That excuse sounded weak, but still kind of made sense. The cops quickly turned their focus to me, grilling me over and over about why I lied. I shrugged helplessly and said,
I had an affair, so what? That's why I lied to Robert and said I was working late. Cheating isn't a crime, is it? That dog belonged to Grace. You should be the ones questioning her.
Grace insisted it was me who insisted on bringing the dog home. The situation hit a deadlock. Soon, the police checked the surveillance footage, proving the dog was indeed Robert who brought it home, clearing most of the suspicion from me. But they still couldn't prove Robert and Grace's intent to kill, so they were released, leaving the case stuck in an endless investigation. After leaving the police station, I tracked down a neighbor living on the first floor and paid a hefty sum to get a segment of their security footage. Last time, after I died, I watched my soul float above as the neighbor used that footage to blackmail Grace and Robert for a big sum. This time, I got to the neighbor first, bought the video with all my savings, and had it sent to the police. It clearly shows Robert and Grace secretly plotting downstairs. Solid proof of attempted murder. They can't deny it now. When they were caught, Grace was still struggling, but Robert was beyond broken. He knelt on the ground, banging his head and crying out over and over,
Mom, I'm so sorry. It's all my fault.
After they were arrested, I went to see Grace once. She'd gone completely gray overnight, looking years older. But the moment she saw me, she forced herself to sit up and glared at me with hatred.
Mia, why wasn't it you that got bitten? You've got good parents, a nice job, a loving boyfriend. Why do you get to have everything?
I looked at Grace in her prison uniform, my eyes filled with pity, and said,
I worked hard for everything I have. As for you, you're young and beautiful, so why did you have to fall for a fake guy like Robert?
Grace was momentarily speechless, just staring blankly and nodding. After saying that, I calmly turned and walked away. Behind me, Grace's heart-wrenching screams echoed, but I didn't catch what she was shouting, nor did I care. All I knew was their lives were over, and my new life was just beginning.